Hi guys, this is B1 from Dead Z Gaming, and today we are doing a review of a game called Torchlight. This is the current game I'm playing right at the moment. It's a dungeon crawling RPG. I actually really enjoy it. It's done in an isometric view, so you're looking down at your character. There are three character classes. There is a warrior, a ranger, and there is a sorcerer. Each one has dependency on different stats. The warrior I'm playing as at the moment mainly focuses on strength. Again, ranger, dexterity, and sorcerer, magic. The game itself is very loot based. As you play the game, you gain identity scrolls that you can use to identify weaponry, and once you've identified weaponry, you know the stats of it, you know how the weapon works, and then you can equip it to your character if you have the corresponding stats. The game itself is a very hack and slash, and it's all based off numbers. If you love a numbers game and you love looting and you love dungeon crawling, this game is the one for you. The game itself isn't terribly difficult, but there's a lot to offer in exploration and variety. As each time you play the game, the dungeons change. Yes, that's right guys, the game adapts the dungeons to your gameplay. No two dungeons are the same. They may feel the same, but they are not. As you notice on the screen right now, there are also raid bosses and mob bosses. Right at this time in the game, I am quite overpowered for the area I'm in. But it still doesn't take away the fun factor of being able to run through an area and hack and slash my way through tons of enemies in a really gory fashion. The issue is with this game, I find, is that there is no servers up for the game. There never was, and there will be. This game is about 4 years old round about now, maybe even a bit older. It's been quite a few years since I actually played this game, although I thoroughly enjoyed it the first time, and I am loving it playing it the second. Building a different character and using different weapons that I didn't use in the first game, as the first time I played as a sorcerer, now I'm playing as a warrior. The gameplay changes depending on the different class you pick and the different abilities you choose. Each class has their own varied abilities, and there are some shared depending on what skills you pick and what spells you buy. As you can see, it's quite easy to hack your way through a lot of enemies and fight you have gained a level. And the game itself isn't that challenging until you get to the later areas. I've just leveled up, so if I press the back button, I can show you my skills and stats. Stats you upgrade, you add points to the various abilities. I normally add 2 onto the main skill of my class, and 2 onto my defense. These are different, a bit varying abilities. Abilities change depending on the class you have selected. I personally love some of the overpowered attacks that the warrior has, like slash attack. You can also dual wield, or you can wield just one weapon. Depending on the weapons you wield will affect your attack, your overall damage dealt with the weaponry, and you can also tailor each build to what you select, what you want it to be. Torchlight 2 has been announced, and it has been released for about 2 years since this game was out. Torchlight 2 was never released on the Xbox 360, but it was released on the PC, and the beauty of buying it on the PC was it actually has dedicated servers. You can play it with your friends, when this game you cannot. That's one thing I think they really missed out with on this game, as it would have been a lot of fun playing this game with friends, dungeon crawling and sharing loot, and basically doing what you do on games say Borderlands and Diablo and other various games like that. Not saying that this is a bad game, it just takes away the social feel.
My pack is full,
which is a shame. As you can see, you can only hold a certain amount of items in your inventory, but that does not stop them. But what you can do, if I go into the menu, is you can give items to your pet. When you give items to your pet, I can remember how to do it. Once you give items to your pet, they will actually they can actually take things back to. I'm giving my pet my armor then. You can actually give them. They will actually go to the town and they will sell the armor for you, which is beautiful, as you can carry on dungeon crawling and they will get you the money for what weapons you have, weapons you do not need, and it does not stop you doing what you need to do, and it makes the game more enjoyable. Well, obviously when you send your pet to town, your pet has departed. The pet no longer helps you in combat, so it adds a bit of a risk to it, but the pet usually comes back and he actually teleports right to your location, which makes the game a lot easier. Also, you get things called Soctables, which are also called embers, but also there are other various items such as cracked eyeballs. These you can attach to your armor when you go to an armor smith, and they can actually upgrade your armor for you. And you can also attach them to weapons. It depends on what item of armor or weapon you attach it to. It gives it different effects. So like the very adept chaos gem, it gives you 4% faster cast speed. That doesn't matter what it's attached to, that is that's ability. When with the cracked pure ember, if you attach it to a weapon you get +4 damage, if you attach it to armor you get +3 armor. So there's always a choice of whether you want to upgrade your armor and get better defense so you can take more punishment, or attach it to a weapon and do more damage and dish out, basically kill the enemy before they kill you. Such as myself. I always prefer to be the berserker, or the person that does a hell of a amount of damage in a really small amount of time, and I love crowd control. I love enemies charging in at me, and I love to be able to basically get all the enemies to be attacking me whilst my friends pick them off from a distance. I usually go for very heavy armour, usually go for 2 weaponry, and I just like to clean house. That's the way I've always been. I've always preferred that type of character. Stealth characters never have interested me, to be honest, but I do enjoy stealth games. See, our pet has just returned with our money that we got from the mission. Well, from the items we gave him, we sent him back to the town, and he's came back with the money left from it, and he will rejoin us in combat and help us out as the game goes on. Your pet, if you varies depending on the class you are, but as the game goes on, you can actually pick up other various items that will actually change your pet's appearance for either a varied amount of time, which changes their stats and their attack styles. So they can turn him into a skeleton with a bow, so they become a ranged character, or you can turn them into a troll, which gives them a more powerful melee attack. The only problem is these wear off after a while. The beauty of it though is it's as though you're playing it online. So if you have something that says it lasts for 60, it's 60 minutes or an hour. This actually makes it feel a lot more like an online RPG. Again, the issue is you're not actually online with your friends, and it can sometimes feel a bit isolated. The game itself is good fun. It's well worth the points, and even now the graphics are still really good. The gameplay is really fun, and I can't actually. The only other games that are similar to this are that are multiplayer. I can't really think of any at the moment, but Bastion comes to mind as a good hack and slash RPG that is tailored more towards single player. When this was focused more on multiplayer. It's not game breaking that you cannot play it with your friends, but it does make the later levels considerably harder, and you will find yourself going through at least 20 to 30 health potions every 10-15 minutes if you haven't got a health spell. That is the only downside I can see. Other than taking away the social aspect of the game. I think the game is still 1,200 Microsoft points, which is around about £8, round about. I can't. Well, about £12 actually, because you can only buy 1,000 and 500 to buy the game. The game itself is fun. It's addictive. You will always come back for more, and it's more than the 6 hours worth of gameplay that you normally get from, say, shooters, which, in my opinion, sometimes you feel cheated out of your money. This game, you do not. There's so much in it to do that even the most hardcore RPG fans will find that the game is enjoyable, and they will keep coming back. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed my review for Torchlight, and hopefully I didn't stutter too much and I didn't make a fool of myself. If you could like, share and subscribe, it would be fantastic. And if you have any recommendations of games I should buy and review or do walkthroughs of in the future, please let me know. Please send me a message on my Facebook, DeadZ Gaming, or on my or comment on my YouTube, again, DeadZ Gaming. This is B1 signing out.